Okay, so we are on July 31st, 2020, and this is my descent into the pit of despair. Okay, and it begins with just this free floating anxiety that's coursing through me for no apparent reason that I know, just comes. So here we are. Honestly, I wish I was just fully embodying these truths I'm writing down instead of needing to write them down as reminders for when I fall off kilter. I have free roaming anxiety coursing through me today, and these truths feel like something I have to yet again convince myself of because I am not effortlessly feeling them. Anxiety can easily bring out my victim consciousness, as can exhaustion or pain, even someone else's. It's times like this I'm confused. Do I embrace, receive the anxiety, pain, and exhaustion? Or do I make myself bigger than it and not tolerate it? All of it? I've tried that too. I've tried doing nothing as well. I've tried it all. Rescuing myself, waiting for rescue, and waiting seems to just reinforce the victim consciousness. I felt like a victim all of July. I will not tolerate it now. Can I allow it to exist without it taking me over? Can I allow it to exist while being intolerant of it ruling my energy? Since I have been unable to banish it entirely, I suppose this is my only choice. And I took a break and came back later. I was trying to regroup, so this is what I said later. I reread what I wrote about peace and what peace says, applying it to my anxiety, and it helps. So glad I wrote it down. Reading it felt stronger than my silent thoughts of it. As always, default to peace and what peace says. Now, returning to the waiting we were talking about earlier. Waiting implies an outside force will bestow something on me. But as my God self has told me, nothing is now withheld. I breathe it in with a command and allow the energies of my God self to serve me without attachment, expectation, control, force, or manipulation. Breathe, command, allow, receive, and all while enjoying my damn self. Regarding anxiety, it is a revved up feeling of unsettledness, and yet it is still an invitation to go deeper into peace. Look at it as an opportunity to restore my peace reserves by breathing in and speaking as peace. Of course, I welcome the anxiety, and I put a blanket of peace on it. That is all. See how easily it is for me to forget when I allow it to blind me and take me over? Okay, moving on. Last night, I woke up during a thunderstorm and pouring rain. The pouring rain is known to give me garden anxiety as I picture my flowers being drowned, drooping, and or losing their petals. I had the opportunity to truly look at my garden habits and attachments while I lay awake for hours. My garden, obviously, a metaphor for the whole outside world and all its angst and beauty. But I'll get to all this later, as my wisdom is putting me to sleep right now. Later the same day, later still, despite all my wisdom that may be just a cosmic joke, the peace isn't taking. I have applied it to my anxiety, and yet I feel I am still screaming inside. I am so tired of juggling myself, so tired of trying to manage myself and to wisdom my way to better thoughts. I am screaming inside, I cannot take this. I can't take this. I know I'm not in control, but if I am in command, then here it is. It's a little dramatic, but I meant it. Here's my command: eternal enlightenment or death. I'll let my God self decide. And where have I heard this before? Because I've done this before. I have. I've done the whole take me now and enlighten me or die. But this time, thank God, something clicked. This is a PS. If my God self decides on the latter, my death, then here is my will. And yes, I wrote out my will in my journal. What I'm leaving to my boys and my husband and what I wanted them to know. And there's tear stains here because I absolutely meant it. I really, really did. So I'm not going to read my will because that's very, very personal. But I will read the PS. All that said, God Self, I would prefer to stay here on Earth in my eternal enlightened state. Amen. Namaste. That took me to the night of July 31st, which was a horrid night of me still screaming in my head. I tend to do my worst hell work in the middle of the night, and that's what I did that night. So I will continue on August 1st from the pit of despair.